because why the hell didn't it definitely live. There we go. We definitely live. Listen, it's YouTube time. Evolution Brooklyn, we headed over. It was all good 3 days ago. I said, man, hey, Frank Murphy, badly. Let me pin this to the tizop. Good morning to ye. Y'all know what it is. It's the Good Morning Gang Morning Show. This your boy Big Phil Speaks. And guess what? My lovely co-host is going to be sliding up very shortly. Huh? The beautiful Evolution Brooklyn will be in the house without a doubt. This is your good... Let me make sure that's right. This is your Good Morning Gang Morning Show. And listen, make sure you got your libations, your tree, your coffee, whatever need be, because we going on a journey. When you get to the room, first thing to do is hit them thumbs up. Boop. Second thing to do, if you're not subscribed, hit that. Boop. Third thing, hit that notification bell. Bing, so you could be in the know whenever we drop this Feel the Love Fridays or anything that drop on this channel. And then after that, share this live with 1 to 7 of your friends. Tell them to come on in. We in it for the win. You hear me? Then after that, click on your seatbelt and sit back because we going for a ride. You hear me? Good morning, gang. We on the one. Night Rider, the home team. The Good Money Gang. Southeast Slimmy is. Ali, I see you. What's goody like the mob? The bird. Good morning to ye. Jeannie, good morning to you, 757. Go lay down. Salute. Rashad Houston, the home team, GMG in the building. Young Dread, salute, GMG in the building. DC Mumbo Sauce, the homie Frank Murphy, the Uptown homie, salute. You in the building. Nah, she gonna be earlier than that today, Frank. Shy Love, she's in here. Shy Love is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. She's chilling. Hopefully she on good timing and she took care of what she needed to take care with her. You know. Listen. That's a fact. It's YouTube time. Time for the good. Almighty KM done brung them on in. Good morning to you, GMG. D-Frog. Hey, good morning to you, D-Frog. Good morning to you. You red up. Pause. Steeler Nation. Man, y'all ain't do too much of nothing. Y'all won, though. I get you that. Y'all won. Almighty KM. Y'all won. But listen. I ain't no hater though. I ain't no hater at all. Listen, Jay Pierce was goody like the mob. Good morning to ye. Need some more water. Night Rider, yeah. Still, how about them Commanders, Night Rider? Y'all lost too? Y'all lost too? We got thunders though. I ain't even gonna hold you. Hey, Rich. How about them Cowboys? We got thunders. Ah, 215 Trench, baby. Salute. Listen, that's all right. We be back out to play tomorrow. You got me today, but I'm coming back. We go scrap again. You hear me? Good morning. It's all good, man. Jay Pierce, it was like he threw 100 of them joints. I was like, what the figure? It's like they slipped him that nice bonus under the table. Like, Slim, just throw it out there. We'll do the rest. Just throw it out there. What the figgity? Oh, here comes J-Man. Oh, Lord, not my HR team. J-Man, not the HR team. We're on the bus. Listen. Told you about that slander last show. But the Commanders ain't do shiggity neither. What y'all do? What did y'all do? Huh? It's 50 degrees this morning, man. Yeah. It was chilly than a mug yesterday, too. I said, I don't know what this weather want to do. First, it want to be warm, then it want to be chilly. Wonder why my nasals is, discombobulated. Maybe you should have sent them crab boys before the game. Man, listen. Man. Oh, there she go. There she go. Evolution Brooklyn's in the house. Can you hear me?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. What you doing with a BET shirt on? Huh?
I've been finding a lot of stuff since I started unpacking them boxes. I don't even remember buying a BET shirt. I was just like, hey, well, it fit. I'm putting it on. Are you gonna get in trouble for that? No, right?
Nah.
I hope not, because I know it is kind of like advertising, right?
It's cool. It's a black situation for the most part.
Okay. I could change real quick if you want me to. I found a lot of black shirts.
You good. She must not have, J-Man. She must not have, because they whooped us horribly. You hear me? Horribly.
Excuse me 1 minute, guys. I'm actually checking on another story, so I can't see y'all, but I can hear you.
What you giggling about? You giggling at my Cowboys? Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Reconsider. Go ahead and research all your research. Don't look.
I want to start with the sports. Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
Tomorrow
I'm putting these glasses. I'm like a nerd for a minute.
No, you don't. You good. You good. I knew
How was your
weekend,
Phil?
It was pretty good, man. It was laid back, blessed. I can't complain. All in all, my team lost yesterday, but listen, you got to take the good with the bad, and we've been kind of whooping a whole lot of ass, so we got whiz-zopped. We got whiz-zopped yesterday, so you kind of take it as it comes. You throw some punches, you take some punches. So this was our week to get punched on. You feel me? Sabrina, good morning to you. But it's all good though. We'll be back on any given Sunday to do what we do. You hear me? You giggling a little bit too much. What you giggling about?
Let me ask you, you only follow that one team, or you got like
that's my team. So I was kind of busy a little bit, so I didn't really get to watch any of the games yesterday like I normally, like I would or whatever. So the only one I sat down and actually had time to hone in on was my game, whatever. 49ers is not always punching on y'all, because last year we was 1-1, J-Man, 1-1. You know what I'm saying? So this year probably ain't gonna be no different. And if we meet in the playoffs, last year y'all wouldn't have got where y'all got if y'all met us in the playoffs. But we mastered that one. J-Man, you stupid. Your team got mollywop. Hey, Night Rider, man, listen. Night Rider, they was in the go-go. It was only 3 of them. They tried to bum rush the front. You know what happened. They got bum rush. She forgot her jerseys, though, so she didn't. Keisha Hall can have herself a ball if her assets are in order. She's in the building. Good morning to you.
You know what? We can actually start, with the games if we want to, since we're talking about it already. I don't
want to start with no damn games, but have.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big score, Phil. But I don't want to rub it in or nothing.
Did y'all win? Did the Giants win? That's all I want to know. Did they win? Did they lose too? My DC homies, did y'all win? Or did y'all lose too? That's all I want to say. But nah, hey, K McCall, good morning. Y'all coming over to the good YouTube if you would. Sarah Lynn, come on in. Hey, K McCall, baby, come on over.
All right, so let's start with the sports since we have it here. It just so happened that I just checked the DM. People added some more weather, some more weather destinations for me. So I'm trying to make sure I get everybody. I don't want anybody to feel like, like I didn't include them. I was like, okay, it could have been sooner, but it's okay. It's all right. I understand. It's when you think about stuff, so I get it. Luckily, I checked because I don't want nobody to feel left out, Okay, so let's talk about the sports since we are talking about it. And let me come back so I can at least look at y'all.
You ain't got to look at us. You can look past us and talk about everybody else. So now, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so in sports, that's a lot of teams. So we had the Jaguars against the Bills. It was 25-20. So the Bills actually lost. We have this one was interesting. We have the Saints winning over the Patriots. Now, when I checked this, the score seemed funny. It was 34-0. Maybe I should check that again.
Patriots got funny.
That can happen.
Patriots.
I didn't know you could have no points like that's. I was like, I kept checking, but I kept seeing it. Yeah, we have. I mean, hey,
we might as well had no points. The way we got.
Well, okay, the Cowboys, y'all lost by a few points, against the 49ers. It was 42-10. You know. We had the Chiefs winning 7 points against the Vikings. It was 27-7. We have the Eagles winning over the Rams. It was 23-14. Shout out your team, guys. It was the Jets winning over the Broncos by 10, 31-21. We got the Bengals. I hope I'm saying that right. Winning over the Cardinals. It was 34-20. Falcons winning over the Texans. This one was a little closer. It was 21-19. Yeah. The Giants losing to the Dolphins. It was 31-16.
As usual.
Okay, this is right. It was the Panthers losing to the Lions. It was 42-24. The Steelers winning over the Ravens 17-10.
Pushing them, they got a little win. Okay, let them have that.
Oh, he liked the Steelers, right? I forgot. I did see him in his
Almighty KM.
Yeah.
They like them.
And we have the Titans losing to the Colts. It was 23-16. So yes, I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about that. Did anybody's team win?
How about them Cowboys anyway? That's all I want to say.
Well, I mean, what you guys played like 2 good games and only lost 1?
No, now we 3-2. We 3-2 now. We 3-2.
Oh, okay.
The Steelers and the Cowboys are tied, right? Hey, Sarah Lab. Don't remind me.
Okay, and I just want to make sure that was all the teams. So yeah, and they played all day, which I thought was, I checked every now and then, but I really didn't know what was going on. So
you said you really didn't know what was going on?
I didn't really
You
know
gotta
going
get one
on.
of
I
your
watched
homies.
him run across the TV. You know, I was like, I ain't
You
even gonna
gotta,
try. At this point, if there's nobody to explain it, I just, you know.
I'm about to say, yeah, you gotta get one of your good homies to
Then I
give you a
started saying, well, maybe
play-by-play
I
and
should
let you
go
know, you know what I'm
out,
saying,
but
ins and outs, at least for one game, and then after that, you should be good for the rest of the games. Push bought them Steelers shoes off Temu. Lord.
You had some interesting stories today.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. Why the hell these?
Yes. Matter of fact, talk about Phil. Can you talk about something maybe you want to talk about before I get into these? And I have everything together. And you might talk about something that I got on one of these pages. Oh, you
I
start.
know.
I'll finish. What was interesting to you that happened this week?
Hold on, girl. You kind of caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting.
Oh no, it's all right. It's okay. Okay, it's all right.
No, you good. You good.
Because we usually talk about the same thing.
It's all good.
I tell you what.
I'm sitting there sulking in my pain, in my misery.
Oh, why, Phil?
Because of the Cowboys. We love.
Oh. All right. I understand. No, I understand. We about to pick up your spirits because I got some interesting stories here. So okay. So let's talk about if anybody remembers Kenneka Jenkins. Anybody remembers Kenneka Jenkins?
Yeah. Pretty passionate. Good morning.
Yeah, I always started with the morbid stuff. I don't know why that is. But okay, so it's some good news though. It's a tragic story. It say after years of seeking justice, the family of the 19-year-old teenager who was found deceased in a hotel's walk-in freezer in 2017. I don't know if you guys remember that. Kenneka Jenkins, she has received, well, the family has received closure. So they got a recent settlement in what they call a wrongful death lawsuit. They said that the settlement marks the end of a long and painful journey for the family, because still to this day, it said the family was still trying to figure out,
what?
Yes, because I know y'all remember the videos where she had walked into the freezer and So yeah, they said they've been fighting for answers since 2017. They said the family, Jenkins family, and the parent company of Crown Plaza Hotel, which was the hotel that the party was supposed to be in. I don't know if y'all remember, it was supposed to be in a room in the Crown Plaza Hotel in Chicago. They said they agreed upon a $50 million settlement with the details not being made public. They said that's due to the importance of safety and privacy concerns and the importance of confidentiality. Because it is in Chicago. So yeah.
I bet.
Now this is just giving you a couple of the details. So Jenkins, she met her tragic demise. It happened on September 8th of 2017 when she attended a private party at the Crown Plaza Hotel O'Hare. So that was at the hotel. They said while intoxicated, she wandered to a lower level floor where she died from hypothermia after being exposed to the cold in the walk-in freezer. They said that her death was ruled as an accident by the medical examiner's office. And they said she died from being in the cold for so long.
Very sad.
Notorious. It made a lot of people, and I think a lot of people still feel some type of way about that.
Still a lot of unanswered questions.
Definitely. Questions. Yeah. Definitely. And I'm noticing a lot of the a lot of these stories now. Y'all notice that like the theme is kind of like accident. I'm starting to notice that, And while I was doing the story, like looking at after it, it made me think like, what did they say happened? They said the reason that the family actually got awarded the lawsuit was because they blamed it on like the staff not going quick enough to check on her, not checking everything, because they didn't check the freezer, and they blamed it on the hotel cameras. Because they said the cameras, if somebody would have checked the cameras in time, they might have would have been able to to get her out in time.
That's what security is for.
Yeah, and I definitely want to. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, do you guys think that the 50 million was enough? I mean, nothing to bring her back. I think
50 million.
50 million. I mean, it's enough. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And that's if she can get to 50 million.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that, Phil, because as I was reading it, they said they didn't want to say how it was going to be paid out because of the privacy and things like that. And I was just thinking, would you want to have like the 50 million all together, let them take out their taxes and you get what you get, or would you want them like to ration it out? God forbid.
Give me all mine and get the taxes out, because even if they give them annuities, guess what? Tax is still gonna come out.
Yes.
And the tax rate might go up over the years, so you end up losing more over the long term. Plus, nobody's promised tomorrow anyway. Give me all mine.
Yes, let me just spin it.
Let me invest it how I want and do what I want to do with it that way. Hopefully, I can grow back the amount I lost in taxes and leave a legacy for all my kids. You hear me?
Yes. And she had a big family. I know it goes to her mother, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that's gonna, be in that pot. Hopefully not, but and my thing is, if you ration it out, it's what it is. But I'm glad at least they got a little bit of closure.
A little something. Because the whole thing is still hella questionable. The whole thing is still hella questionable from the video footage, whether it's been tampered with, where was the hotel staff while all this was going on, et cetera, et cetera. From the party side of it to, the aftermath or whatever. Where was the hotel staff and what was their role, or what wasn't their role?
Yes.
And I think that's part of the reason why they're not letting the details of the settlement out, because it might ruin the rest of the business, whatever business this hotel might have or whatever the case may be, because that's crazy. You got all these cameras and all this security, but you ain't got nobody monitoring the footage at all. Like, make that make sense. That's why they won. That's why they won. Because at the end of the day, when you are a guest or you at the hotel, your safety and security is supposed to be all but guaranteed.
Yes.
At the establishment. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like even in school, when your child is in school, their security is supposed to be guaranteed. And if something goes wrong during school hours, you can sue the hell out the school system, out of the school, and a couple of other people, because that's what that's what the security is for. The resource officers that are there, the cameras that they're putting all over the place, and in some schools, metal detectors. So if something goes wrong, parents, assert your rights. Assert your rights, because guess what? At the end of the day, when you place yourself or your loved ones in somebody's hands and they have security, clubs too, nightclubs too, and things of that nature. If they got security and shit jump off and you injured or whatever the case may be, lawsuit.
Yes, and made me think the staff was at the party too, the way they, because they said it was like a ghost town when this happened. So just looking into some of the
concert halls and all that, lawsuit, you name it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just got a settlement, and that's how I found out they are tax free. All settlements.
Yeah. I know when I got some of my settlements, well, you know what? It was pretty much the lawyer's fee. So I get what they're saying on that.
Sarah Lynn, I had got workers' comp too, but mine was tax free. The only thing that got taxed, like you said, was that lawyer's fee, and they got their little chunky.
That's the biggest one yet, you know.
A little chunky chunk. But they did good. My lawyer did good. They was trying to do me dirty. My lawyer came back like, you know what I'm saying, he regulated.
And that's always a thing I'm starting to notice. Like, you got to really look and see what they taking out of them checks. You know, when they gave me my last check, they took $5,000 out. I was like,
let me take that up off you. Let me get that up off you.
Yeah, and I had to fight for it to get it back. Like, it was crazy. But it made me more aware of, you know, when they give you that, you know, they give you like the printout that shows where everything is going. You really got to look, whether it say it's going to the judge or mine was going to some type of court something. I was like, look, they ain't got nothing to do with my case. I was in the hospital, not them. Like, you know, so it was crazy. It took a little while too. Yes. Yeah, they get a third. Yeah,
the lawyer worked it solo in one.
Yeah.
Trina Pink, look, if you got a clear cut and dry case and all that, and the other party is either admitting fault and or willing to then yes, you can proceed without a lawyer. But in my case, they was trying to railroad my ass, and guess what? We end up having a Acela train on there. Yo.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even understand it. You know, there's I was looking at like some of the I'm gonna give y'all another story, but I was looking at some of the like entertainment news and stuff like that. And did y'all hear about like the Morgan State University, the HBCU,
the shooting?
Got into that trouble? Yeah, y'all heard about that, right? I was surprised to hear. And I'll be honest, they don't give you a lot of information, but it was Morgan State University. They had to cancel homecoming. And y'all know how big like the homecomings are, you know, especially for the Black colleges, you know, but they said it was for the first time in the school history. After 5 people actually, you know, they got shot. Well, some got shot, some got injured. Nobody fatally or you know, anything life threatening. But the way it happened was pretty interesting too. They said, the biggest thing in school history. It was a campus shooting, and 5 people were injured, but it wasn't, you know, life threatening. It was on Tuesday. They said the shooting happened right after the Mr. and Mrs. Morgan State, after they were crowned at the event, and they call it at the Baltimore campus, right? They said everybody's expected to make it and recover, but they said they haven't found like any of the suspects or anything. So they shut down everything else. So, you know, it's that, and then it's the big game, and it's all that, and you know, the people come back, they shut down everything. And the kids like traumatized. You know, I was reading a lot about it, and they were saying, you know, they felt bad, but you know, they said that it's not the first time this happened. So I was like, do they report this stuff? Do y'all remember like this ever happening before? I don't ever remember. You know, I looked it up, you know, but they always give like little detail because they never find the people who do it, you know. But I was just like, that's a shame. Like
they definitely they definitely didn't give enough coverage to it. Now, me being in the DMV area, even though Baltimore is kind of considered a world of its own in a way, the fact that it was more local, it should have been a lot more reporting on it. And maybe they wanted it more quiet than not because of the stain that it puts on Morgan State. I don't know. But with Baltimore being right there, I can very much believe that statement that this wasn't the first time, because if you know where Morgan State is composed as a compared to Baltimore City, it's right. It's in they consider it Baltimore County, but it's like right there or whatever. You have a situation where you have locals, then you have people that come in town or whatever, and then, you know, the clashing of heads, and you never know if drugs was involved or what the problem was or whatever. it's a shame that their whole homecoming festivities got shut down because that's that is a homecoming is like a morale booster for the students, for the team that play, for the homecoming court and pageant that they might have or whatever the case may be, and just an all around good time for people that come out and enjoy the festivities or whatever. So feel Cowboy.
That's a little sad. Yeah, even the reporting was like, dang, like, you know, we can't nothing, but you know, it's like, dang, kids over there doing good and they still bothering them, like, you know, it's crazy.
Hey, man. It's a wonder. It's a wonder, and I don't want to speak it into existence. It's a wonder nothing like that hasn't happened at Howard. Now, there's been fights. There's been and fights and a stabbing or whatever, but not really no shootings or whatever. But it's a wonder. It's a wonder because what we call the locals, people from DC, get into it with dudes that go to Howard or visiting Howard all the time or whatever. But fortunately, knock on everything. Wood, plastic, you know, tin.
Yeah, like
that never happens. Because we don't want to see that happen. We don't want to see that happen.
It was almost like they was used to it. I was like, dang, like that's what we doing. It's like
Michael Matthews, salute to you. Good morning to you over in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Thank you for tapping in and tuning in. Hopefully this isn't your first time. Hopefully this won't be your last time.
Yes. I like, yeah, you know, and Wavy's right. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like he said, a lot of times the people that do stuff like that don't even go to the school. It makes sense.
That's the fact.
It makes sense. Yeah, they live in the hood around the school. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
They snuck Georgia Avenue Day in for. Man, I seen some footage of that hurt my heart. I don't know what the hell was going on. Frank Murphy right there in Georgia and Kennedy. It was a video I saw, and I don't know what kind of dancing was going. I said, "Oh, they making Uptown look terrible. They made us look bad." We talking about Georgia Avenue Day, and I forgot all about Georgia Avenue Day, but I was just like, "What the hell was they doing?"
You know what I did see? What's the dances that y'all do in Los? I'm sorry, like in Washington. What is it called? It's called like the because they were broadcasting it all week.
Beat your feet.
And they had a band behind them, and the little girl be dancing.
Go-go music. Go-go
music.
I
think because it got some type of name. It was cute though. I watched it most of the. I don't know if they were having some type of, you know, parade or something. Like she was jumping up and down and hitting the floor, and it wasn't twerking anything. It was like a footwork. And they say it's popular, like I guess in New Orleans. And,
it must be called
like
Beat Your Feet
or something like that.
Must be beat your feet or whatever, because I can't think of no other dance craze that's going on in DC. What's up, Mo? DC always go dance. That's right.
Because you know we have something called Light Feet in New York, right? Right, Mo? We have Light Feet, and it looks something like the Light Feet. It look a little bit like the Aunt Jackie a little bit. So I guess they just change it up a little bit, I would think. I was like, this is cute. I want to learn this and do a real tour or something. I was really intrigued, but she was just jumping. I had to jump all over this apartment. She had a drink in one hand. She had the beads around, and she was dropping and getting back up and turning around. And she had to be like 4 or 5 feet. Like she a little small girl. I was like, where is she going? I said, it's so cute though. She had a little pouch. What's that pouch? That backpack thing around her waist.
A little waist fanny pack or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, what is this? I saved it somewhere.
I would have to see it to kind of, put full understanding.
I'm gonna send it to you. I was like, I'm gonna have to recreate this. I'm gonna have to do that because I gotta go back to my roots. I was like, I'm gonna have to do that. I don't think it's gonna have the same effect without the band behind me though.
if you like, it was funny, right? Because a lot of people like, oh, go music this, go music that, right? But it's twofold to what I'm about to say. One, the roots of it that come from African, Afro, Latino, and Afro-Cubano origins or whatever the case to be, all rolled up, but really all stem from African
Like
music
that,
or whatever the
like
case
folk
may
dance
be.
again.
But then on the other side of it, a lot of people don't understand go-go outside of the area. But what's funny is if you do your due diligence with hip hop, and this being the 50th year of hip hop, a lot of hip hop artists, especially older hip hop artists, have sampled and or used either live go-go bands or recordings of go-go music in their music, going as far back as Curtis Blow. If anybody knows who Curtis Blow is.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, do your due diligence on who Curtis Blow is, because I don't think we hear a lot with this 50th year of it's a little bit different, Mo. You'll get what I'm saying because I'll go back to that. How you gonna tell me about go-go music? But anyway, Curtis Blow doesn't get a lot of recognition in this 50th year of hip hop, and he should. And he should.
I don't hear much about him. Yeah.
You don't. And he was, I think, one of the first people that got signed to a major label back in the days. And he was before Def Jam was Def Jam. Russell Simmons used to manage Curtis Blow. Run DMC was Curtis Blow's DJ. A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, before Run DMC was Run DMC, he was DJ Run. He said a couple things in his rhyme before, but I think he should get more Now getting back to what I was saying about the Afro Latina and Afro Cubano side of it is the variations that come out of go-go not only stem from out of African music, but it comes from the Afro Latino swing of beats from the older musicians that first started go-go. And it how can I put it? It broadened the scope of go-go. Like you have certain instrumentalists like Go-Go Mickey, which is a heavily famous and popular, probably one of the best, if not the best, Congo player for go-go bands out of DC. He did a whole like almost like a documentary on the conga and percussion in go-go. Okay. And he showed you how dynamic that playing the congos was. It wasn't just but he played you a wide variety of what you call it. I'm talking while I'm thinking or whatever, but you gotta do your due diligence. You gotta do your due diligence. Of course, it all comes.
You know what, Phil? I kind of like when you talk about the music, because I be having questions. Sure. What's the rain dance? Because you kind of light up when you talk about the music. What's the rain dance, Phil?
The rain dance.
Yeah, that's over there where y'all at. What I heard.
Rain dance. I've never done. What the hell is the rain dance? I ain't never heard no.
Anybody know what the rain dance is? I seen a lot of people in the club.
Heard of some damn rain dance?
The rain dance. I'm trying to see if I can find it so I can give you a little bit more. It's it's very popular. Matter of fact, they were talking about it last night on a live.
In DC?
The guy was from, where was he from? He was from right next to DC. And he was talking about how the women, when they go in the club, it's okay to smack them on the behind when they do the rain dance.
Make it rain or something. I look, you got me on. I ain't never heard no damn rain dance.
But that's what the guy's saying in the song.
That's a fact.
He's saying something about rain, like I don't know. I'm gonna find it because the beat is real nice, and the people were flowing to it. They were dancing. So I was just like, oh.
You older than me, Mo. What you talking?
You never heard the rain dance?
No, that ain't the rain dance. Mumbo. So the water dance.
That's Harlem.
Water dance, but that can't be that.
Get in the water.
Yeah, because there's a song called "The Water Dance." Get in the water.
Y'all got one?
But there's no real dance to it though.
Everybody was in unison, like it was. Yeah, and y'all right. It was almost like the Let It Rain, but they wasn't doing the clear out part. Y'all know the dance, Let It Rain, clear it out. They wasn't doing that part.
I don't know where. It would help to know where the area was, because you said it was near us, but Was it a
Because I saw
Baltimore
it
thing?
online. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Send it to you. And I can't wait to ask Phil what the rain dance is. Because it looked real
like I said, because if it was Baltimore, they kind of got a world of their own. If it's Tidewater, area, they got a world of their own. Because like, even though like the song is Time for the Percolator, it's Time for the Perk. That comes from out of
Baltimore.
That was y'all? No, that's Baltimore. That's Baltimore.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that comes from out of Baltimore, whatever.
Okay.
Only rain dance I know is back in the day when you would call your ass. That's what I was thinking. Native American rain dance. That's the only thing that came to my mind. I was like, when that become popular again? But
I was like, oh, that's cute.
Like I said, that might be Baltimore. Yeah. Phil, listen to DJ Hollywood. That's a fact. Hey, Pretty Baby.
It was only a real like a. All right, Phil. You stepped out with the big freak thing, huh? I'm sorry.
Anybody that know me, I used to cut a rug. I used to get busy when it comes.
Yeah, you got see, you got a little rhythm.
Just a little taste. Jason Burnett, I am two-step Phil now. Drinking my hand, chilling. Just chilling.
Don't mind me catching fly. I used to have a nickname for him until he became booed up.
What are you talking about? Booed up?
You remember I used to call you Big Freak Nick?
I'm chilling. I don't want no problem from nobody.
That was in the past. I got a story for y'all.
Dez, what's good? He like the mob super.
Okay. And I'm giving you just stories that make you go, You ain't gonna bother you about that dancing. Okay, what's that, the Cabbage Patch?
Somebody said something about the Cabbage Patch in the comments, made me think of. Listen, let me stop.
Yeah. Oh man! As a matter of fact, I saw what. Rich, I didn't forget about the weather. I just wanted to make sure I have it. And let me give y'all the weather now. It's never too late for the weather. Before I give y'all this weird story I'm about to give y'all. And then, maybe can roll into politics for a little minute. But so the weather. Now, some of these places that I was given, I'm thinking they were a joke. I'm just gonna be honest. But I aim to please. Because they gave me places like Alaska. Ain't nobody in Alaska. But it's okay because they might have been testing.
So somebody really.
Yeah, I was like, it's all right. It's all right because I know you tested me. So, I give it to you. It's no problem. I was like, what? But I said, you know what? Maybe somebody just want to know what's going on in Alaska. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So I just want to make sure I got it right. So let's start.
From Africa, the frog. Oh, my bad.
So you guys know I always start with NYC, So it is going to be 62 today. The sun finally came out. It's going to be mostly sunny and 50 tonight. So, it's going to be cold, but it's what it is. Atlanta, ATL Shawties. It's going to be 75 over there. Sunny and 49 tonight. It's cold. Chi-Town. It's going to be 57, partly cloudy, and 40 tonight. Ohio. 62, mostly cloudy, and 38 tonight. So y'all see where this is going. Las Vegas, I know we did have somebody here from that. 94, it's going to be mostly sunny and 68 tonight. That is beautiful. We got Florida, it's going to be 84, mostly cloudy, 75 tonight. Alabama, somebody did ask me the last show for Alabama. So it's going to be 78, sunny and 52 tonight. We have PA. It's going to be 63, sunny and 48 tonight. We have Texas. Shout out to Chasey. It's going to be 84, partly cloudy and 61 tonight. We have LA, Los Angeles, 79 degrees. It's going to be fog, but it's going to be 60 tonight. You had the Bay Area, that's the San Fran. Yeah. It's going to be 68 degrees. It's going to be cloudy and 58 tonight. Nebraska, somebody was Nebraska, 65 today, sunny and 40 tonight. UK, like for the London blokes, like I always say, 75 today, sunny and 55 tonight. Somebody asked for Australia and Alaska, so I'm gonna give you that. So Australia is gonna be 72. It's gonna be clear with periodic clouds and 57 tonight. And last but not least, Alaska is going to be 44 with fog and 32 tonight.
I think that's a lie. Alaska going to be 100 below zero. So no.
I was like, you know what? No problem. I know it's a test, but I got it. All right, so I want to get into this weird story. And I got a couple of celebrity news for you guys too. But did y'all hear about the mysterious, at the time, unidentified mummified man that was mummified for let's just go into the story, because I thought it was like a joke at first, and then I actually I went to places, and it was on a lot of different sites. I think the best one to me was on the New York Post. I looked at that one.
Mummified in the United States, or they found somewhere international?
In Pennsylvania. And if y'all and actually the picture of the man, it was horrifying though. Just the picture, but he was a whole mummy, like it was crazy. Let me tell you how this works. Now, I don't know if y'all ever seen anything mummified, but it turns like brown, like the color of leather. So what I was thinking, because they said it was an accident, so I was thinking, I thought the man was
accident.
Black. I thought. Well, technically, it was an accident. Okay, let's go into this. I'm
yeah. Tell the story.
Right?
Tell the story. Like,
okay.
You accidentally mummify somebody.
So the man's name was James Murphy, and I looked at that first because he didn't have a name, so he was identified. So his name was James Murphy. He was the iconic Pennsylvania mummy. They nicknamed him Stone Man Willie. Maybe y'all know the story by that name, Stone Man Willie. They said after having a long afterlife of being known as a stiff city lore and character in ghost stories.
Stiff what? Stiff city what?
A stiff city lore. So
stiff city. Okay. I thought you said
like
what?
Yeah. And he was like, they used to put him in ghost stories, like Bloody Mary and all that stuff.
I get it. Okay.
Because he didn't have nobody knew anything about him. They said he was buried after. I don't know about this. They said after 128 years on display. Now, when I look to see, I'll give you. Let's go. I'll just because I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, but they said Murphy was of Irish descent. That's when I kind of let out of breath, right? He was an alcoholic, and he was in Reading, Pennsylvania, at a firefighters convention when he died in the local jailhouse of kidney failure. Now, I tried to I looked a little bit into it because I was trying to figure out, why did he die in jail? Like, what happened?
Right.
So what they said was Murphy had been in jail accused of being a thief and was accidentally mummified by a mortician experimenting with new embalming techniques. Where he stayed. So he stayed exactly where they embalmed him. They said all these years until the funeral home made a last-minute decision to give him a proper burial. He was like it's almost like he made the funeral home kind of like famous, like where he was.
Got you.
Because they had the, so
Got you.
they said at the time of his burial, because it was an open casket, guys, and they showed really graphic pictures or whatever. They said Murphy was described as being leather skinned, mummified, dressed in a period tuxedo. So that's for the time that he would have been.
He passed or whatever. Oh wow.
Yes. They said his send-off included a colorful procession with a motorcycle hearse carrying his casket. I just wondered, like, where was the family? I know they gone, you know what I'm saying? But your family member is you didn't look for him, you didn't know nothing. Hey, I mean, they ain't saying anything about the family. I'm just saying, like.
I'll say this. At a time, Irish folks were looked down upon. At a time, Scottish people were looked down upon. At a time, Polish people were looked down upon. Black folks and brown folks weren't the only ones that have been looked down upon, or Chinese or Asian folks or Native Americans weren't the only ones. As each wave of new immigrants came over from different countries, a lot of times they were looked down upon by everybody else or whatever the case may be. And then so that could be a part of it. You said 100 some odd years ago, that could be a part of it. And money's
128.
Yeah, 128
years.
And a lot of people back during them times weren't fruitful. What money wasn't as plentiful as it is now. A lot of opportunities were a lot less. Jobs were a lot different. You know what I'm saying? The scope of a job. So you never know in that situation.
You know what I found interesting? I'm about to get up and close my window. But what I found interesting was that they showed the picture of the guy that mummified him. And he really looked like really valid to me. But maybe because I know that he messed up.
You say he looked kind of.
He looked like a mad scientist to me. I was like, that wasn't no accident, allegedly.
He said he was trying to create him a Frankenstein.
Yes. I was a little relieved it wasn't us, though. For some reason. I just like, because I just knew it was a brother, because he was, mummified, you brown, you dark, like leather, like they say. So I was just like, oh, he was Irish. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they showed the doctor, because first they showed the doctor. And then it was, okay, now, he's Irish. So I was like, oh, I said, when the medical experiments, I want to get up there. Okay, yeah, so but I thought that was interesting, and I got a real interesting story for y'all. But I do want to talk a little bit. Y'all know I'm gonna talk about politics, but I ain't gonna give my opinion. Not this time. I'm just gonna report the story. Y'all do what y'all want to do on it. I gotta close the window, Phil. It's really loud.
Handle your business, baby. Handle your business. She must ain't got no bottoms on, y'all. She turned the camera off. I ain't gonna tell nobody. Shh. Can't hear you. You got.
And I only closed one window. I should have closed both of them. I don't want to keep. Can y'all hear the drill? Y'all can't hear the drill, right?
Nah. Y'all hear the drill? Nah, you good.
I was, you remember I had told y'all about I think it was Friday or maybe it was Wednesday. I had told you guys about Kevin McCarthy. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And he was the House Speaker. He was a Republican, and mm-hmm. I had said that I thought what he did to keep the government open was. Mm-hmm. It was kind of noble, but now it seems that it has gotten him booted out. Yeah, play with them Republicans. Let me tell you. So, Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's deal with House conservatives allegedly ended Tuesday as the wing rebels, which they call the Republicans, joined by the Democrats, voted McCarthy out of his seat. They kicked him straight out. They said McCarthy's he was only in the House Speaker seat for 269 days. So he only had 269 day reign. Yes. He was, as a speaker, and it was ended by a 200. So the vote was 216 to 210 to vote him out. They said, which is a move that would most likely paralyze Congress for the time being. Now, this stuff actually stopped the shutdown, right? Now they have a name for this. I did a little more research. The name for this, they said the move to remove McCarthy. They said it's known as what they call a motion to vacate. They said it had support of a handful of right-wing lawmakers, which again is the Republicans, who had expressed anger at McCarthy for working with the Democrats to stop a government shutdown. So I don't know if y'all remember me telling y'all, but they wanted the government shutdown because they wanted their bills to pass. I think at the time it was about 5 or 6 bills they were trying to get passed that would have benefited the Republicans, but it would have pushed the shutdown. At the time, they had treated McCarthy, everybody like, oh, he helped, he saved, the shutdown. And now, now it's like a slap in the face. He did do something good, but every good deed, So there's a House Speaker, Gates. His name is Gates. He led a group of 8 Republicans who voted to remove McCarthy, while 208 Democrats joined the voting. Which was, Now let me tell you why that was crazy. So I'm trying to break it down a little bit, because technically, why would y'all vote him out and he helped y'all? You get what I'm saying? He helped the Democrats. So I was just like, why would I don't know. Maybe it was something personal, because the Democrats.
Because he's a Republican. Because he's a Republican, and they maybe could get somebody in the seat other.
You're right. Now let me tell you why you're right. Because I was going to go to the comments. Let me tell you why you're right? So, and this is what the Republicans said. Republicans were said to allegedly, right, feel that the tug of war with the voting had cast a negative shadow over the Republican majority. So that's why. So now, it's the Democrats still is on top. So, I guess that's what they're going to stay for the moment.
They kind of utilize the moment. Yeah, utilize the moment to, they want him out anyway. This might work in our favor. Let's go on and get him up out of there.
Yeah, it could. It definitely could. They said during a debate that some accused Gates. Now, this is the problem, right? So Gates, they accused Gates. So now they own everybody head. They accused Gates of what they call grandstanding. Y'all know what that is, and hurling the House into chaos. Now check this out. They said without a clear plan as to who would take the job next. So you threw the man out, but you never thought who was going to take that spot, so y'all would still be even on an even kill. Now, y'all ran into a problem. So, was it personal? What's going on? I don't know. Which means that the whole focus was not really for the government shutdown for the Republicans.
It's always a game. It's always a game. They up there playing tiddlywinks, badminton, all kinds of dumb shit up in the Congress and Senate at our expense. And if you really knew the effery that happens, you'd be like, wow. Because again, the bills that they have, there's no way on God's green earth that a bill should be this many pages. None. That's the amount of other bills that are pushed into one package that they're trying to get signed, and a lot of them You think you're trying to get something that you really don't want people to really look deep into? You're gonna put it way even in the middle or kind of towards the back. Because by that time, them motherfuckers be like, man, I ain't trying to sit and read all this old. Let me sign this. That's the game they play. And for them to want to shut down government institutions, facilities, etc., the government, in order to throw a hissy fit like I want what I want.
That's exactly
It goes to show that y'all got the wrong people voted in the office, and that's why these positions locally, regionally, are way more important than just the president race, and that's why you have to pay more attention to your local and regional races, because a lot of times your aldermen, your councilmen, et cetera, end up being your governors, end up being your senators, representatives, et cetera, et cetera. So pay attention to who you vote into these smaller offices, because one day they asses esteemed to go up the chain or whatever.
Definitely. Like it's crazy. Hey. And there was a story I wanted to tell y'all about. It had to do with Trump, but I'm gonna lay off it. I was gonna give y'all a little taste, but I don't want to, excite. I don't want to speed up no heart rates. Well, I did look into a thing. I know everybody was talking about like Krishan and Blueface. I had looked into that. That was interesting. But since it is, the hour, and I let me say before I do that, can I do another Black girl magic? I want to tell y'all something. Now, I know that I was never really a big Beyonce fan, right? But when I tell you she doing some big things, like she just don't have the tour. I always look at the women that's doing stuff for the sisters, and I try to, shout them out as much as possible. Like she has these funds, right? Or charities and stuff like that, and she had something called I don't know if y'all, this was in Houston. It was like with her mother, Tina Knowles, and I just be wondering, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because you're supposed to give back. She did a thing for the wheelchair, for the for the guy with the wheelchair. Now she's giving back. I just wondered, like, why is it a thing now? Like, because do y'all remember her giving back and stuff like that before? Like the charities and stuff like that. Like,
she's done that. She's done that throughout some years. She has. A lot of times I think it's better when they do it and it's not a lot of publicity. The only drawback to that is a lot of people assume that they don't give back when there's no mention or no notice to such charitable things or whatever the case may be. I like those people that go beyond the scope of tax purposes, donating and doing charitable things for tax purposes. Why the fuck you calling? Excuse. Mm-hmm. You can hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why no, I lost my train of thought. I get it when people do it for tax purposes or whatever the case may be, but I like those people, artists, philanthropists, millionaires, billionaires that give beyond what they have to help people or whatever the case may be, because there's a lot of money floating around, and I believe that a lot of problems could be solved if people were a little bit more charitable and a little bit more humane or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I've heard stories about her doing things. I've heard stories of even Jay doing things or whatever the case may be. That you don't readily hear. And a lot of times people, look at people that got a whole lot of money and they greedy, they hold on to their money. Now a smart person, a wise man would kind of be frugal with their money. But when there's a good cause or a good situation, you should want to, if you have the means, because we're blessed to be a blessing. We're not blessed just to hold on to it or to be
you can't take it with you when you go.
You're right. You know,
Tell you.
do a good deed, do some good work out here. Do a good deed and do some work out here.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
I just look for stuff like that. Hey, Cutie. Okay, so it is a little after 9.
hey,
It is
they
a little
bugging.
after 9. And I
They
did hear
bugging.
about that, Savalyn, about she canceled one of her dates because of low ticket sales. I was just like, all that
Really?
money you just made, like, but I guess a woman of her caliber, you get what I'm saying, when it comes to like performing and stuff like that, and she got a whole bit production. I guess I could understand why she wouldn't want to do that whole production. I guess. But I'm
Plus,
thinking, like,
plus,
it's
plus,
people that want to see you.
plus the aesthetics of it all, because the reporting on it. Oh, after all these sold out shows, is she losing it? Because look at this crowd. People can be vicious. People can be vicious when it comes to the report, especially if they're not really Beyonce fans and they're reporting, or anybody for that matter. Anybody for that matter. Sometimes it's better to go ahead and I'm not going to do that concert than go ahead and do it because it can look away. Now, a lesser artist could and should go ahead and do something like do the show, because it shows that even though the house ain't packed, I'm gonna still give y'all that paid y'all money that wanted to see me, give y'all a good show or whatever the case may be. But
That makes sense. I was just like, it's a shame that they give you the good news with the bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's. I was just like, oh, I was proud for a minute, and that was it. But yeah, I mean, they human. It's what it is, and it is, I guess, all about money. They doing it for the money. So, that's what it is. That is what it is. I found this story, guys, right? And y'all probably gonna look at me a little strange.
yeah, you're probably gonna look at me a little strange.
Right. But I wouldn't be evolution if I didn't. If I didn't, I wouldn't be myself. Because I was very intrigued with a story. And y'all don't even have to ask me why. I was just really, really intrigued, right? So I don't know if y'all remember, and I want to make sure I present it right, because this is one of those stories that I need to be presented. You understand? Get the Ed Norton. Let me tell y'all. Did y'all hear about Okay, let me just set up. So on July 21st of 2022, so this is when this whole thing allegedly happened. There was a Baltimore daycare worker. She was headed to what they call the former Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Southwest DC to confront her husband about allegations of child molestation told to her by the parents of the daycare. Anybody remember this? Because
the Mandarin Hotel is a bad hotel too.
I was hoping y'all knew what that was. Because they said the former, so is it still up?
They must have changed the name of it, but that I didn't even know that. But that's one of them exclusive, the nice joints.
Yeah. Now this is the thing, right? So she was going over there to confront him. Thank you, Lisa. She's going over there to confront him, right? Her name was Shanteri Weems. She was 50 years old. So once she got to the hotel, she left in a police car. As her husband, Mr. James Weems, he left in an ambulance with 2 bullets in his body. I was like, what, Shanteri? Like, so, hey, so I had to look more into it, right? So they say 6.5 months later, because she went to jail and she stayed in jail, right? So that's what made the story big. They said 6.5 months later, a DC judge, his name was Superior Court Judge Michael O'Keefe. He told Weems that she had no right to take the law into her own hands, and he gave her a 4-year sentence, which was 2 times they said what prosecutors had recommended in the case as a plea deal.
Wow.
Now the charges were aggravated assault and carrying a pistol without a license. Now this is the thing, right? Weems was a former correctional officer before becoming a daycare owner. So I just didn't get the whole carrying because they carry pistols, right? Don't correctional officers carry pistols? Like,
well, in DC now, you can get a license to carry a pistol or whatever, unless they rescinded that or whatever. Because I know they were trying to. As a police officer, when you retire, you still have the rights to carry a pistol. I don't know if the same holds true with the correctional officers. I don't know about that. But she probably went there. You got to understand, not only is that destroying your business, that's destroying your marriage. That's if he was molesting children. That's something. How do you live that down? Even as the wife, even as a family member, that's a heavy stain, and it's sad. And that judge, she's probably gonna get back on appeal some of that time because the judge, I get what he's saying.
And I think it was personal.
It had to be because
it was a little too harsh. It was way too harsh. And I looked into why it was so harsh, right? I'm gonna tell you why it was so harsh, or what they said why it was so harsh, right? And let me tell you something. She wasn't the only one, so he got prosecuted too, right? So they said prosecutors also charged James Weems. He was a retired police officer. But check this out. He's a retired police officer with 33 counts of the R word and child sex crimes. And he's like now awaiting trial where he was, right? Because I have a part 2 to this story. But they said the reason why she got such a harsh sentence was because they said during sentencing, Judge O'Keefe said Weems' attack on her husband was premeditated. And it was not spontaneous because police had told her days earlier that they were investigating him. And they would shut the daycare down, while they were investigating. And the daycare was in Owing Mills in Maryland.
Owing Mills, Maryland.
Owing Mills in Maryland.
Owens Mills, yeah.
It was actually called Little Kids Castle with K's. They was all K's. So they was going to shut the daycare down while they looked into the allegations of child abuse. But she went and shot him, which kind of messed everything up, I guess, for her. You understand? Because let me give you part 2 because it just don't stop there. So, and I was shocked because I looked at this story one day and I was like, okay, let me look and see if I can get reputable places to find out what happened. And that's where I found out what happened, right? But then the part 2 was that on the 3rd of October, James Weems, he was James Weems Jr., he was released from jail and ordered to what they call a level 3 home detention while awaiting trial, right? Now, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's because he's a police officer. He maybe know people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know, right? Of course. They said the court documents in 2022 detailed the allegations against Weems. It included showing pornographic videos to children, touching them, exposing himself, and forcing them to touch him. Now, this was all on a bus, and I'll tell you a little more about that. So they had a search warrant, right? It allowed police to collect, what they needed for the case, from Weems' case. Look on his cell phone. And when they looked, they found a search history, because that search history always messes people up. They found a search history, which included frequent visits to a specific porn site that one of the victims referenced. So one of the kids, since he was showing them videos, probably said, well, this is the site. And they found all that on the search engine, on the search, engine, the history, right? Now I'm trying to say, okay, so where was he when he was touching his kids? Was he like a daycare worker? Because she was the owner. Yeah, I'm saying they were married. How this work? It seems that Weems had been working at the daycare as a bus driver for 2 years before the shooting incident with his wife. So he had done this stuff for 2 years. How you put him on detention? I was just trying to figure that part out with 33 counts of a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
why did he do that? Because he officer? Like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's sad.
I hope they give him a whole lot of years. I hope that he get dealt with wherever he go, which he probably will. One, he's a ex-police officer. Two, he'll be a child molester or whatever the case may be. I got so much I want to say, but I can't say because of this platform, YouTube, etc. I will say that though, if there's anybody with a heart, find out where this woman is, Shantira Weems. Put something on her book. Put something on her books. I premeditated or not. Premeditated means you thought about it before you went there. And think about what your thoughts would be if your husband did all these things, not only to your business, but to children in general. Listen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She's gonna end up probably getting some of that time back on appeal. Or, or reconsideration, or whatever the case may be. But her business is forever. Her business is forever messed up.
Oh, it's a wrap.
She probably would have had to close it anyway. It's good money in childcare, so that's money down the drain and money lost. The stigma behind she was married to a damn child molester. I said molester. He lucky that she didn't end him. He lucky that she didn't end him or whatever the case may be. Find out where she at. Put some money on that lady's books. I say that. Yeah. And if anybody got a problem with what I'm saying about that, y'all can have at it. But
no, and that's right, because my thing is how I stood on this, how he got out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she prayed target practice and all that, but she ain't kill him. So she didn't kill him, and I could just imagine the guilt that she has behind not knowing. You know what I'm saying? And all them kids suffering because of that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even want to go back in the daycare business after that. I'd be traumatized. But I don't know. She didn't do anything. I feel that was so wrong. You know what I'm saying? She might have been shooting the air. One of the bullets happened to graze him. You know what I'm saying? Now she got 4 years. It's crazy.
And I got a question too, like, because Miss A Block said where was she at when it was going down? He was a bus driver, so I'm wondering,
he was on the bus.
Was he pulling the bus over?
That's what I'm thinking.
Foolishness. Because I'm like, where could he have done this or had access? But some of the people that drive the bus are actual daycare workers, though, that work inside daycares, and they just happen to be tasked with with driving kids to like before care, after care, school, whatever the case may be.
So because they never said exactly where. Yeah, they just said what he did. I that's the first thing I thought about too.
Crazy. And that's crazy.
It had to be somewhere away from her though. But then I'm thinking about this. What if they say that she knew, and then I'm saying worst case scenario, and she in there with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they already harsh because she didn't listen the first time. What if they, what I'm saying? Which could happen. I hope not.
I would think if she knew, that she wouldn't have went to do what she did at the Mandarin.
Yeah.
What she did at the Mandarin was what you call a crime of passion, meaning she was angered, she was distraught, she was hurt.
Right. Yeah. That was
because
somebody you love and you sleep with every night. That's crazy.
Man, that's crazy. That's deep. That's deep on a lot of levels. And
That's
I don't
crazy.
normally wish. I normally don't wish jail on people. I don't. But in this case, yeah. If what they saying is true, he need to go. He need to go to a max a level 4 institution and let them deal with him as they may.
Especially now, since he's home, and and they're a nice home chilling, and she's in a jail cell. So it's like, I think you get the harshest sentence you could get too, because you chilling, and she's in this cell, and she didn't even do anything to anybody.
They probably let him get on home detention for doing while he's awaiting trial because of his depending on how bad the injuries are. And it would be cheaper to allow him to get care outside than it would for the jail, especially DC jail. If it was Owen Mills, he probably would have been housed at DC jail. He'd have been out PG some damn well, somewhere else. But it'd have been cheaper for that than to have him be on the dime of the corrections or the jail or whatever. So I get that. First, I'm gonna say vengeance is the Lord, but I hope he gets some hood justice with some caramel on top. That part right there, SS Monte Carlo. You feel me?
And let me tell you something. If he go in there as a child molester, he may have to worry about some shrinks. You know what I'm saying? Once he heal up from them bullets, because they don't like stuff like that.
Not just that, not just the killing. They gonna do him dirty. They gonna do him dirty. And depending on where he go, you're gonna have some COs that's gonna try to protect him because he's an ex-police officer. Yeah. Then you're gonna have others that's not gonna care about that, and they're gonna be like, he's a sick individual, that's and right. they gonna put him
officer. In that's even worse.
They gonna put him in
together.
Yeah. Supermax ain't gonna be able to protect him. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Minute he getting it, they're gonna know exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. And let me ask you something. As a former police officer, would you protect somebody that did that? I don't know. Like, wouldn't that be like a judgment, or I guess it's a moral call? Like I know you're one of us, but you want some other stuff.
That's
I can't.
sick.
You know what I'm saying?
That's sick. Yeah. The officers that I got that I know, like my friend's father, God bless him dead, my boy's brother, they wouldn't go for that. They not with all that. They on the contrary. And all officers aren't bad people, but you know how they say one apple spoils the bunch. It's kind of that, but there are some so-called stand-up individuals or whatever the case may be, but they so in the minority these days is ridiculous. But in this situation, man, listen, put some money on that woman's books and I can't say what I want to say.
It's kind of, I know, that's how I was like, I gotta be careful.
Karma is a mug, and guess what?
Yes.
Is that the prayer line they call it? Whatever.
And if y'all do want to leave something, I do know where I can get that story, and I can let you guys know, or you can DM me. I can send it to you or whatever. If y'all do want to help that young lady out, because there is a group that was supporting her, and trying to help her kind of get out, to no avail right now, because she is like, they are not feeling her whatsoever.
She should be about ready. When this happened in 22, right? And she probably played out. When did she plead out? In 22.
Well, they didn't say. They just said her plea deal wasn't accepted. They gave her 2 times what the lawyers wanted to give her. They didn't say, well, I will find out though. I'll definitely find out, because it has been really big. It was a really big story.
It was at the time. I remember.
Yeah, that's how I was like.
I forgot all about it till you just now said something about it. But yeah, it was a big story.
Beautiful,
she probably already got a year. She already probably got a year or so in. You know what I'm saying? Wherever she's at. depending on people in the jail, she could still be at a county jail or facility. But I wouldn't want to stay there. No, because it happened in DC with what she did. So she would be at DC jail if they kept her locally. And I know she wouldn't want to do that. So it probably better to go up the road.
You're not good.
No, because what I was going to say is she could have sympathetic COs and counselors, which could move her paperwork around and allow her to stay in a certain jail and live comfortably, do her time. Let her be a trustee, you know what I'm saying? Her time the best as possible, given the circumstances. But DC jail ain't the jail you want to just be. You want to go on to the next location. You want to go to the next location and whatever. But it's a horrible situation. Phil, you're not hyped today like you was on Friday. Well, this story ain't nothing to be hype about. But I was hyped earlier. But
I can give you a hype. But let's talk about some of the celebrities. Let's do a couple of shorts. Because I wanted to ask a question about this story, but it is a little, melancholy. So I could get it. You know what I'm saying? And Phil feel bad about his Cowboys. I don't want to bring him down too much anymore.
No, we be back next week. We be back. We rumbling. We be back next week. What you talking?
So I definitely. So let's talk about something I know y'all don't want to hear about, but let's talk about it. I was looking into the and I think I was telling somebody about this, or maybe we talked about it. I was telling somebody about how like Blueface, that he was getting some type of, I thought it was jail time. And how Chrisean had finally got the baby, the surgery that the baby needed. You know what I'm saying? And I saw so many people talking about it that I never really said anything about. I had a couple of questions, right? Because you know how we like root for people and stuff like that, and she's had a really very, very traumatic time, like you don't know, having the baby on camera, to saying she's done, to going back on her word, to not doing the right thing with the baby. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm just wondering what her mindset was, because I saw that that Blueface was sentenced for, I don't know if y'all remember, he was involved in a shooting in Las Vegas at a strip club. Yeah. That was in 2022, right? They were saying, and on the 1st of October, that he got sentenced up to 3 years, but it was only probation. They said that it was also an underlying sentence of 2 to 5 years behind bars. But they said if he doesn't get into trouble, if he gets into trouble, he is locked up for several years, right? And it's a couple of other things. There were the victims. There was and I love this name, Kentavious. That's definitely one of us. Trailer, definitely Kentavious. That's definitely one of us. He got grazed by one of the bullets, right? And he stated that he thought Blueface, he benefited from celebrity treatment, instead of like the regular judicial rules and policies and laws.
California too. Well, it was in California where it happened, right? Oh yeah, definitely.
And Trailer, that's unique too. He claims that the incident ruined his life and prevented him from obtaining work. And he got and he got grooves, and he by a bullet messed him up, and he got to see them online acting crazy. And the money is stopped, nothing stopped. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like celebrities are untouchable at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, I just thought about it. I said, because if you have a woman that's independent, let's say he do something like we probably know he's gonna do. What would her mind state be if he gets taken away? Would she fall? You know what I'm saying, with that baby? Because as we see, her surroundings are not strong enough to keep her doing the right thing. I just wonder about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we see with him around, she ain't strong enough. So if he's actually snatched away for doing something, because he a hardhead, you know, like, is she gonna be able to? Because you can't tell her nothing. Is she gonna be able to like to deal with that? I be wondering. And I got a lot of little stories and stuff like that. I just do shorts sometimes, and I kind of ask the hard questions like I would on on like one of my own lives or something like that. Because I be wanting to know what's the state of like behind these stories. Like that's crazy.
I think if she's trying to better her life, if that's what she's trying to do, she should continue on that path no matter what's going on with him or not. Not LL Cool Phil, y'all stupid. Um, I feel that they are super toxic when together. No matter who's more the aggressor or not,
Yes.
that they definitely do not need to be together, and that they need counseling. They both need counseling. Even I remember I saw something where Blueface's mom was talking about her son, and feeling apologetic, like I raised this individual.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know.
really is.
I pray healing for the whole situation, and I hope that baby is well cared for, and that she gets better and gets right for the sake of her child, not for the sake of him,
Yes.
but for the sake of her, for the sake of her and the child, or whatever the case may be. It's sad because we live in a day and age that clout is more important than your morals, your values, your self-worth, self-esteem, etc. And that people are damn near willing to do damn near anything and have themselves look like anything in order to get a view, like a mention, or whatever the case may be. And like the word says, what good is it to gain the world but lose your soul?
Yes.
And I'm not gonna be preachy about it, but I hope that she gets right.
It's crazy. And there's a couple of different things. I was looking last night, right? And I'm just bringing shorts, just stuff that I was actually looking into. There's a big story about a lady. Her name is Charmaine Fenton. She had a son. He was 18 years old. He looked like a little baby. He really did. And they said the story was that, and I actually heard this before, but she's been asking for help because she said that super close mom and son, relationship, that he went out with his friends one day, and she had a car. He drove the car out to by the water, like by like a pier or whatever you want to call it, the beach. Now the friend came home, right? Told his parents ain't nothing happened. She's calling her son, hey, why he's not answering? So she called a friend. The friend says, oh, well, he went off somewhere. He got a phone call. He went off somewhere, right? He don't never come home. Now, then they find out that they said he walked into the water and just kept walking after seeing something on his phone. Then they said he was high, like both of the boys were high. Then they said he walked on the opposite side of the street, while taking off his clothes. It was a whole bunch of like speculations and stuff like that. They still don't know what happened. And the mother is saying, like, he's been, they actually did find his body in the water. He actually floated up on the water after a couple of days. After the search party and everything, he was like one of those like army recruits. He was trying to get into the army. He was trying to do a lot, very skilled. He was learning how to fly planes. That's what he wanted to do in the army, whatever. And like she was just destroyed, and it like kind of broke my heart. And it was just a thing of nobody looked at the friend. And she was asking the news. She was on the news for a while now because I've seen it before, where she was saying, well, why didn't anybody, look at this boy that was the last person to see my son alive? Why didn't he call me? Why did he just come home and act like it was nothing? And then when I called and asked, you know, because they said he didn't really want to answer no questions. He just said, oh, he just walked off and then, you know, gave the phone to the parents. And I'm like, y'all think that sounds strange to y'all? And this was not, he wasn't even like a boy that had issues or mental issues or nothing like that. He was fine, regular kid, you know. And again, this is another thing that they said, oh, well, it was like suicide, almost like a accident. Maybe he got pushed into the, but I'm like, so you telling me that your friend is there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this don't sound right. Yeah, I just, yeah. The friend definitely know what happened. Definitely know what happened, you know. And then, guys, if I'm moving across these stories too fast, let me know. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And there is still, you know, some minutes if y'all want to come up and talk about anything. You know,
I got a good one after this one, but I feel as though if what they saying is true, and if it's over a relationship, people get help. It's no. To me, I can't speak for everybody because everybody's made up differently, but there's nothing worth you taking your life. I think.
Yes.
Even trauma, even things that are happening to you, you can get your retribution. You can get from under it. You can. If what they saying is true, he got some text and he decided to walk off into the ocean, which I feel is crazy, which I feel is stupid. I don't think so.
Yes.
Especially when there's other ways where you can do something to yourself if that's what you're trying to do to yourself. But if I'm entertaining it, if that is true, seek help. Seek help. Get some counseling. Talk to somebody. Younger folks, you got a whole lot of life to live. Even older folks, you still got some life to live. To whereas your life can be of an effect to other people. You never know what your story will lead up to, or what your story will turn into your life story, in which it might help other people, either out of situations, out of depression, help away from toxic situations, whatever the case may be. But on the flip of that, if there is foul play involved, somebody needs to get to the bottom of it so that his family can have closure, real closure, as opposed to it's nothing worse than a whole bunch of lingering questions that can't be answered or won't be answered. And that friend, whoever it is, to me, ain't a friend. If he walked up, gave a phone, and walked off, wouldn't answer.
Sound like a suspect to me.
If that was my friend, no matter how hard it would be to talk about it, I would have to sit down and have that conversation with my man, my homies, people, just to let them know what I know, so they can take with it whatever they need to, or whatever the case may be. Get solace, or get retribution, or get some kind of justice, whatever the case may be. That's crazy, but it sounds a little bit more sinister. Sounds a little bit more wicked. Like there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, because I was just like, and you know, she keep going to the news and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's cool, but it don't seem like they giving her much help. You know what I'm saying? I'd be on that friend back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to my son? I would drive him crazy, you know, until we figured out what happened to the son. Because they actually had like a video of him walking across somebody's camera, you know. But then my thing is, then how did he end up in the water? So it was just like, what's going on with, you know what I'm saying? And I seen the story on YouTube maybe a couple of months before. So she really been working, trying to, you know, she distraught. That was, you know, her only child, like that. You know, that was crazy.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, and they were really close.
That's just not something that just happens. The child could have taken K2, gotten hot, and tried to cool off and drown. He was spotted on camera naked, pacing back and forth. Okay.
Naked, yeah.
Either that, or if it wasn't K2, he could have been on dippers or what we call Love Boat, PCP.
Now she just said weed, so it wasn't. And I looked into that. Maybe he was on drugs. They just said we. They didn't say nothing like K2, because if it was, they'd have definitely specified. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know no weed, no regular weed that's gonna have you just
will
get
make you do that.
hot.
Yeah.
That's
what they
either
say.
both.
I don't think he killed himself.
PCP. Yeah, that's either both PCP or possibly K2, if that's what it is.
I thought drugs too. But then, this is my thing on that. So,
ran home, tell his mom.
Why wouldn't the friend? Like, it just seems so suspect to me. Like, it really, really does. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say naked. He had his shirt off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he had on like a swim trunk thing to me. You know what I'm saying? But, maybe he could have been naked. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because the life was painted so well. He had such a good life and all this stuff. They didn't talk about no girlfriend, no nothing. So I'm like, what did you see on your phone? That, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is the problem with that too. He was an avid swimmer. He was a swimmer. So I was just like, well, if he was on drugs, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? And she has like dug under every rock, everything you could think of. You know what I'm saying? I celebrate her as a mother. She was actually sitting talking about the thing in his army uniform. She said that's the only thing that comforts her. And I was just like, and she was like, done for. And I was just like, dag, like, you know what I'm saying? I be feeling like with us sometimes, it's whatever it is and put us in the ground. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. It don't matter,
That's crazy.
I don't want to.
I got a question for you on a more upbeat basis. Have you been following the thing with Drake and Joe Buttons?
Okay.
For those that have not paid attention to it, of course, there's been some war of the words, some back and forth with Joe Buttons and Drake. Joe Buttons gave a critique of Drake's release. Drake responded with some rather choice words or whatever the case may be. The part that's gotten me, that people forget that there was a diss track that Joe made 7 years ago.
Okay.
I couldn't remember if it was new or not because somebody posted it on what is now called X. It was Twitter. And I was like, is this new? And after doing my research, I was like, oh, this was 7 years ago. I said, oh, okay. The diss track was nice. Was nice. This is my thing. It's twofold, right? When you out here in the public as a public figure, right, and you put out a body of work, of course you want people to enjoy that body of work and love it or whatever the case may be. But what you also do is you have to understand that you put yourself out for critique and criticism. And some people don't like that certain people have things to say about their body of work when it comes to entertainment, singing, rapping, acting, whatever the case may be, sports. So Drake took some heavy shots like Joe, a has-been rapper, who's been, lessoned, so to speak, and put into a position of being a podcaster. Whereas Joe makes pretty good money at doing what he does or whatever the case may be. So the reinvention of himself should be applauded and dope. I still think Joe has it in him, pause, that if he came off the porch, that he would do a lot of MCs dirty. Because if you know your due diligence about Joe in the mixtape days, he was very ill, and even Slaughterhouse days, very ill with his right capabilities and rhyming or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I think he would be much better than say a Joe. I mean, Drake or whatever the case may be. Right? When it comes down to that, it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes from there. I was gonna play the audio from 7 years ago, but then it's on a Vivo channel, so I said no, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to get flagged or whatever. But
Yeah.
go look up Joe Budden Making of a Murder Part 1 official audio. It's on Joe Budden Vivo channel, VEVO. If y'all don't know, Vivo is kind of a company that handles a lot of artists online on YouTube, the distribution of their audio and or visual video disbursements on YouTube, whatever the case may be. Go check it out and go listen to it for yourself and see if you like it or whatever. I think it was dope. I think it stands the test of time because I thought it was something new till I really did my
You
due
real
diligence.
talented, you know. But you know, it's funny, right? Because I was looking at a little bit of that story, right? I was just waiting for it to be finished. Because I had saw that that Drake released an album, and he said he was going to what they call like do that you know, at retirement where they walk away for a minute, you know. He said it was going to be his last album for a while. Jay-Z did the same thing. But then I looked into it, and he said he had stomach issues, so he wanted to get healthier and then come back. So I was like, oh, okay. So this is a good ploy. You know what I'm saying? You know, for your departure. You know, this is my thing with rappers though. When they take a break, do they like is the want to hear their like music and stuff like that, does that like go away, like a type of out of sight out of mind type thing?
You talking about from the artist itself or from other? You talking about from the artist side or the consumer side?
Like both. Like as an artist, shouldn't you be scared to just walk away? But you know what? It is your health, so I get it. But there were some people, you know, some rappers that did it, and you know, you may not have never heard of nothing else. You know, I mean, I think what Joe did was brilliant. I think the fact that, you know, he went to podcasting and making money, and he doing way less. He's sitting in a chair. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I think the music industry pissed him off and put such a bad taste in his mouth, that he totally abandoned the want of it all, or whatever the case may be. Some artists look at it like, and it's true, the industry dates people out, meaning after you get to a certain age, they say you're not relevant, or there's only certain people that have transcended that. Jay-Z being one of them. Who can pop up and say what he want and do what he want and still get respected with his bars.
Yeah. You know, I couldn't wait. I was waiting for you to say it. But you know.
And I think that should nobody be dated out unless they just don't have nothing else to say, or they don't keep up with the times and or keep up with their artistry in that way, whatever. They don't have to try to mimic what these young dudes is doing, but at least do them in such a way that their core audience and others will still gravitate towards them when necessary. From the fan perspective, it's different because everybody's always looking for that new. However, the new don't always give you what you're looking for when it comes to good music. Especially if you're a fan of somebody that maybe came out 10 years ago, 20 years ago, etc. Your ear might be in a different place and space. Yeah, you might jam to a couple the beats, you know, the music of a song, but you might not like what they're talking about per se. And so you could, the consumer might have a longing to hear like a Rakim or a Big Daddy Kane or, you know, an older artist or whatever the case may be. Whereas a younger person may or may not know about that these older artists. And some, upon hearing and learning certain things about them, might want to hear more, or some don't care. They're like, that's that, you know, years ago, you know, whatever the case may be. We got a couple people backstage. We can bring them up quickly if you want to.
I'm gonna close this window real quick, y'all.
Handle your business. Hey, Miss Polly.
Hey, Miss Polly.
Hey, Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Miss Polly. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, chat. Hey, girl. I just wanted to say, like, with the Joe Budden stuff, because I follow. Am I okay with my volumes today? I'm trying.
You loud, but you good. We know we.
Oh, damn. I'm really trying to like move the phone away from me.
You good, Sean. You good, Sean.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. Yeah, like Joe, like I followed, like during the pandemic, I went back and I binged the whole podcast. So I caught up with everything, and I only thought the same thing like everybody else. Oh, it's just pump it up and fire, and that's it. But then I researched, and I was like, hold up, he got some bars. He actually got music or whatever, and
Oh yeah.
and it's the thing. He got music. Like I went back and added some to my playlist. And yeah, he's not really with this whole industry thing. And let me preface this by saying, not like a big Joe Budden stan, but what I will say is Drake is crying and he's making me upset. Drake is I don't get, first of all, I don't see him as an MC. Maybe it's me. I like some Drake songs for the club. I do not like Drake songs for just regular MC rapping. And the problem that I have with media is I watched that whole pod. That was the one small piece he said that tripped Drake out. He literally gave him compliments the rest of the pod. So it's so crazy how they took that one piece he said, because some stuff you elevated for potting purposes. Yes, he's animated for potting purposes. But at the same time, he literally said, as a Drake fan, I like this, I like this, I like this song, I gotta sit with this song. He only said that one bad thing and they clipped it up, and now Drake got his panties in a bunch. Like, relax. Like, I don't know if it's a light skin thing, brother. Get your boy. Phil, get your boy.
Hold
I don't
on. I see you
I'm
trying
joking,
to
y'all.
become the victim of a magic trick early, huh? Look.
I'm just joking. I'm playing, y'all. But no, but like seriously, Drake is just like, I mean, artists are sensitive. I'm not saying they can't be sensitive, but I feel like you and Joe got a long standing thing, which I thought was squashed
I
until
think
this weekend.
that's what it's about, more
Yeah,
so
but
than
then they
just
kind of squashed it this weekend. Well, they squashed it before. And now this weekend, y'all picking one little thing he said. Now, don't get me twisted. Joe says some effed up things all the time. But this wasn't one of them. He didn't even say, he bigged up Drake a whole lot. And what I think it is Drake is wanting to prove something to Joe, because in an interview, he said, when I first started rapping, I was rapping like Joe Budden. And at the time, Joe wasn't really, he was Joe. He was on drugs allegedly. He was an asshole. So he wasn't whatever. And I feel like Drake is that kid that's like, aha, I'm $1 billion up. What you doing? Da 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 da. Like, that's just how I feel about Drake right now and Joe. Like, Joe didn't, I just wanted to voice that. Joe didn't say nothing terrible. He just said that one part. And that's his opinion on the songs, on the music. Okay. And you're not gonna win them all.
Miss Polly, you got anything on that or any of the other topics that we talked about before you came up?
Unfortunately, I came in a little late, but I'll be honest, like you said, my son was listening to Drake yesterday, so as I heard some of it, yeah, I wasn't like
thrilled.
It was okay, and I don't really like. I'm like, listen, he was like a singer. I think he just needed to stay in that lane.
Well, he's both. He's rapping and sing, but
I agree. He should stay in the lane of singing. I agree.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's just he just tried to be a Chris Brown, and then it just didn't go out that way for him. That's all. That is okay. That's what happened. It's fine.
Not a Chris.
That's my opinion. Don't get upset with me, please. I'm sorry.
No, but see, that's the thing. That's the problem with this whole thing is people forget that people have opinions, and as a public figure, people are gonna place their opinions on the things that you do, the things that they see, things that they hear, and people have to get used to that, whether they like it or not. I get it. Certain people who have a certain fan base, things that they say resonate a little bit more than somebody with a lesser fan base or no fan base. So I get it. From an artist standpoint, what Joe says can ring over a little bit more than say if I said it or somebody, with a lesser following or whatever. Yeah, what I say might affect a couple people. What Joe says affects a whole lot more people. You get what I'm saying? Which could affect sales, could affect streaming, could affect tours, show money. So I get it to a certain extent, but at the same time, you have to understand it is a part of the game. It comes with it. Does it sting more because it comes from Joe, who was once an artist, who you've had a problem with at the time or whatever? Maybe. But at the end of the day, the level that you on, sometimes you got to let people have at it, say what they want to say. You do them. And if they saying something on the contrary to what you think it is, then you prove them wrong. You prove them wrong. You know, let the numbers show for themselves. Let the work show for itself.
That's why I feel like he should just, you up, millions of people love you around the world. You worried about what Joe Budden said, and mad people be saying stuff. And you just, it's probably just a personal thing against him and Joe, because it's not, the reason why I'm speaking about it is because he literally, I don't understand why everybody up in arms. He literally gave him props the rest of the episode. And before that one statement, before and after that one statement, he gave him props. And it's like, they're crucifying one statement. So what? All right, everybody you gonna not get 100 every time on a test, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do know music, by the way. Somebody said they don't know music. I do know music. I love real music. I just don't. Maybe Drake is just not for me. My cousins try to put me on. I like much 5-year-old like some of his songs, but I just can't. I don't know. The bars for me is not. It's not hitting for me personally.
I have yet to hear.
I think she's right.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I think some people think like it's not really necessarily, like I said, it might not hit with you, and that's okay too. Like, I'm not saying the man sucks. What I'm saying is, from my opinion of me seeing him and what he could do, that's just my opinion. Like you said, everybody has a different opinion, but I'm not saying the man sucks. He has songs that I like; they're fine. But like on an overall basis of his whole career, he was really doing better when he was more on the R&B side. And I know I never heard him say any amazing bars that I'm sure that would be like amazing. So that's all it is. Not saying he's a horrible artist. I think taking it too personal sometimes, because it's your baby. That's that's who you really resonate with. But that's all you gotta do is be like, oh, it's not for me. It's not for me. That's all. Mm-hmm.
I can dig it. Well, ladies, I would love to have you up here longer, but we definitely have to close the show at our closing time. Evolution has something really important she has to do, and I got to attend to a couple things or whatever the case may be. I appreciate y'all for coming up. If y'all have like something slight real fast to say last in closing, please have at it. I would love for you to say something shy, but make it short, shy.
No, I'm gonna make it for real. I'm not on that timing today. I'm gonna make it short. Just everybody have an amazing week, and I'm gonna put in the chat, y'all, where today at 10 o'clock y'all can vote for me. So please vote for me if you can, and just press a button and just say vote for Sha. That's it, and that's it. Everybody have a blessed week.
There you go, Sha. You learning? Go ahead, girl. Look, go ahead, Miss Polly. You have anything you want to say real quick?
Well, everybody just have a good day, and enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully, we'll run into each other again. So that's all.
That part.
Thank
you're welcome here.
Thank you,
come on back through. Make sure you come on back through.
Yes, definitely.
Miss
Phil, I have nothing to say. If they don't know me by now, they'll never know me. I'm good. Yeah.
By now.
Well, let me tell you, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for putting trust and and just supporting me. I appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you, King.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. I'll say this. Somebody just sent me something about one of the guests that was just up here. It was interesting. Not nothing bad. Not nothing bad.
I know.
But listen, that threw me all the way off. Those that I need to get at because of that damn game, I got you. I'll hit you behind the scenes. Hit me behind the scenes. Other than that, smile, y'all, because y'all never know what it might do for somebody, including yourself. More importantly, love on somebody on purpose, with purpose. And on top of that, I'm not anti you. I'm pro me with the emphasis on building we. Let that marinate your melon to the next time we can chop it up and have a tay-to-tay until that day. Guess what? I'll holler. Evolution holler. We'll all holler, baby. Now go do something positive with yourself and get the hell up out of here.